Welcome back and good morning. We have Precious K. Williams, the Dual Enrollment Program Manager and Family Advocate for the Georgia Connections Academy. So thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm excited to have you. Today is testing is starting in Georgia, which is perfect timing for you being here today because you have some really important stuff to talk about.
Absolutely, absolutely. I always tell families that testing is just one part of education. It's not the entire picture. You go to school, you do projects, you meet with your friends, you meet your teachers. It's just one part. It's kind of like the concert, the world tour of education.
That's right. Everything on that final stage.
Yeah, right. And so you want to go show and display yourself, but this is not the end all be all of your career, right? And so I'm so excited that you guys are having me here. I can't wait to talk more about how parents and students can cope and understand what they're feeling as they approach the test.
That's right. And so I want to talk about that. How can kiddos be preparing? How can their parents be preparing? Because it's not just one of them, it's a team effort. How can we be prepping for those tests and anxiety that comes along with it?
Absolutely. Well, the biggest thing about preparing for testing is just preparing for learning. Having your student or I'm always in between talking to students, parents, families, having the young people prepare for the learning environment. Learning doesn't just start in April when the test comes. So
it starts when the school year.
Yeah, so making sure that your student takes their lessons seriously, that as a parent you take the lessons seriously and are helping assist the schools in their job to keep the kids engaged and retaining the information. When you're studying for the test and you're putting so much pressure on the test, that's when we have some adverse reactions to the upcoming test. But if we prepare for learning and we're making sure that we're a part of the process actively throughout the year, then this is just the Super Bowl. It's the last stage, one of the stages for your learning.
And so do you have any tips for parents or those kiddos? How can they be prepping for those tests that are coming up?
Absolutely. So academically, you want to make sure you know what standards are focused on, where are the things that are the strengths and weaknesses. So going to your parent-teacher conferences and figuring out what they're struggling on. Personally and socially, you want to make sure that the eating habits, the sleeping habits, the self-care habits for your young person are up to par so that we're not sleep deprived, dehydrated, and already malnourished when it's time for the test. Outside of having a socioeconomic concern, we want to make sure that just those daily habits are being prioritized. And then as a family, we want to make sure that we prepare ourselves mentally, not putting so much pressure on yourselves or on your student or your family member that this is going to define them. This one score does not define them. There are plenty of students that do very well on academic classwork but may have more apprehension when it comes down to the test. So just prepare your mind that this is just one way your student is being assessed. It's not the definition of who they are.
Okay, I love that. I love that. Now, there's also a dual college enrollment program. The information is on your screen. Like Precious said, give your kiddo some grace, prep them, get ready. It's testing season. For more tips and tricks and how to prep for testing or anxiety that comes along with it, you can head on over to our website, 41nbc.com. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.